So I've got quite a few game systems that I'm going to plug into my TV, test them out, see if they work for a family member of mine. I don't even think this is all of it. I've got this Wii is the first one I'm going to work on. Got three different batteries with rechargeable remotes, some nunchucks. I've got to look and see if there are any Wii games or GameCube games. But there's the Wii, there's an old VTech for like learning games, for math and different things. Excuse me, that's something I bought myself. There is a N64 that I had some cords personally that I added to it. A bit jumbled up, but I gotta go through it. Super Nintendo. Here is a second N64. I think that was the red variation. It may have been orange, I can't quite remember. Three different Nintendos. I think there's a zapper, maybe a power glove in there. A whole box of games. I think those might be N64 and VTech. I have to go through them. And a couple controllers left in here. I'm going to try plugging them in though and see, if any of them still work. So I've got one of their old N64s. Now I personally, recently I personally bought Quake for the N64 and a NASCAR. Now I've heard good things about Quake but never tried it. So I'm going to see if it works. Now, they had the orange N64 console and controller, and a gray. So now that I think about it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the gray swap the orange for the gray. Let me set my phone down. You'll have to forgive the close-up. I'm working with what I got at the moment. And the light is all I have at the moment as well. Let's see here. So, now, I haven't wiped it down or anything. I'm just trying to see if it will work out of the box, or out of where it's been in storage for a little while. If I need to wipe it down so that it'll work, I will gladly do that. So, time to cut it on, see if the old N64 and a game that I bought, okay, so they work. Awesome. Let's see here. Nintendo 64 is not connected. Turn off your Nintendo 64 system. Alright, so I might have to blow out or clean out this. It doesn't feel broken. It honestly might just be a bit too old. Sorry, I had to blow into the controller port. By the way, kids, if you've never played N64, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, even Sega Genesis, it had cartridges like the original, not the mini they've got out nowadays. But the original Sega Genesis Nintendo 64, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, even the GameCube had little ports that you had to blow into sometimes to get out any dust. Now, you could use compressed air, but I don't know if we have any compressed air at the moment. So let's see if it works now. All right, Quake 64 controller packet. Okay, so they do have they did have a controller and rumble pack extension that normally what you would do is you see the slot down here at the bottom. You just, well, hang on, I might have this in backwards, admittedly. You know, I did. Bear in mind, I haven't played the N64 in several years, so forgive me. You would normally slot it in. Now, it had a slot back here where you could put in your rumble pack or your memory pack. And it also had little knobs. You could set it to rumble or memory. And then if it was memory pack, I believe you had 4 different categories as for memory. Now, you can play the games without the rumble or memory, but they would just be saved on the cartridge, or you wouldn't have rumble for certain secrets. Let's see. Now, I bought this. I believe it may have been used or new. We can see. Okay, controller pack not found. So, some games needed the controller pack to save. Do not use pack. I don't really need a password. B to exit. So it'll be new game. Let's try easy. Building, huh? Oh dang. Is that a hammer? Or a shovel? But hey, I know it works. So I don't have to, hang on, let me turn this up. Does not work? Oh, I may have to change, I think I got it on audio in. I need it on audio out. Let me turn this down because it is a very high volume TV. Is it good to set right there for a few seconds? I believe so. This is not exactly the best way to go about it, but I have it set for audio in, I think. Let me try audio out. So white to white, red to red. Alright, so that's YPVPR. So I changed the input ports that it was in. Awesome. So I have sound. There's Quake. I've heard that it's a demon and zombie fighting game. So let me turn it off. Take out Quake. And I believe this is NASCAR 500. I know I used to play it at my grandmother's, or back when my grandmother had it quite a lot. Blow in it real quick. Let's see here. Cross your fingers, cross your toes, maybe even cross your eyes, if you can. Let's hope that NASCAR works. Oh, that's awesome! Awesome! I remember I used to headbang the mess to this song. NASCAR 2000, rather, excuse me. Alright, no controller pack detected. Game will not be saved. Okay, yeah, so some of, if not all of the games, needed a controller pack. I think games like Ocarina of Time had 3 save files already on the cartridge, maybe? I don't really need it to save, though. What I can do,
Gentlemen,
start your engines.
the green flag is out and the race is on.
Man, I used to love this game. How? Okay, it's A to go. B is the brakes. Use a little analog stick in the middle to control your steering. I'm not sure what Z is. You had a camera. Oh, yeah, there we go. Right C stick controls the camera. So I know this N64 works. And I know both of the games work. I know the gray controller works. Now I'm going to try to use the orange controller with the orange remote. So here is the orange N64 and with the orange controller. Now I did find, if you'll give me just a moment, I did find the Memory Pack Plus plug-in. Now, it can go into the controller itself on the bottom, which I had forgotten that it was plugged into this one. Or, if you so chose, oh, let's see, Nintendo 64 video game console. So there is a trimmer pack for Rumble. Let me see if I can see what this says. That's low, high, Rumble, save, and Rumble. Okay, so maybe this was a built-in Rumble, or you may have had to buy a separate Rumble pack. I'll have to look into that. So that's save, its own save, and low Rumble. So let me just take it, pop it in. Yeah, so you could choose between save or Rumble, and the save packs had 4 different. It was either 4 different files, or you could do 4 different players. So let me pop it in. I say, pop it in. I have to sit this down. Now, this will detect, or should detect, a save if this works. Now, personally, I always thought these looked cool. Oh, it's a PS2 that I bought used recently, or I bought it from an antique. I don't have any memory cards, and a bunch of the old PS2 games that my family had, I had to do away with because they were too scratched up. I also bought a suitcase record player recently with a couple records that I've had for some years. Now, I always thought these looked pretty cool with the trimmer pack plugged in, rather, because it looks kind of like Transformer. Look here, okay. I know my hair's messed up. I'm gonna have to redo the hair tie it was in. Talking a lot. I'm just trying to explain the games and the stuff as far as y'all might need to know. Now, all I did was just swap the standard N64 for the orange one, because it already had the stuff plugged in to the power cord down here and the back of the TV. Now, cross everything you can cross. Hope for the best. Okay. Controller pack error. Let's just go ahead and attempt repair. Okay, success. I think I remember this controller pack might have had an issue with errors, but that might be with the duct tape on the back of it. I'm gonna have to take it off, see if that's batteries in it or what it is. Apparently it's a success. Okay. So NASCAR works. Let's see here. Go ahead and try Doom. See if Doom can detect the memory pack or if it's still got an error. Supports the controller pack and memory pack. Not be inserted or removed. Okay. Load. Create game note. See if there's anything on the memory pack. There is not. So I can go ahead and create the game note. Save file 1. Oh. Okay. So let's see here. Oh wait, no, I don't want to do a password. I forgot that was password. Video controls, load setup, don't need it. New game, let's do normal. Rumble pack not found. Please insert Rumble pack into controller number 1. So, now what I can do is I can test it. I can do low rumble and rumble pack. Try again. Okay, yeah. So I figured trimmer pack was trimmer. Oh, gotcha. So Z is the shooting, is the gun. A is a shovel or an axe or something. B switches. Z is the trigger. The C down button is jumping. Odd. Okay, so A switches as well. Or rather, yeah, A switches. So that's dodge, left and right. Down on the direction pad jumps. Same dodge for the directions. Like I said, Z is the trigger. Okay, cool. So I know those work. Time to test the Super Nintendo and the 3 different Nintendos now. So we did get a few other things. I say a few. You'll see what I mean. So it's two plastic crates. There was a GameCube that I have set up, and it has a memory card. I'm gonna cut the TV on here, or cut the game on here in a bit. Excuse me. See if it can read the memory card, and then see how many games it can still read. Now, this crate has a bunch of wires. For example, some of you who have played the NES will know what this is. Younger folks probably won't. It is a Nintendo Zapper. Plastic on plastic. It's a controller for the Nintendo, made for Duck Hunt. You had to hold it like 5 inches away from a TV or something like that. Or you had to be very slow with it. So, cross your eyes, fingers, toes, maybe even your tongue if you can. If you're that talented, or you got one of them split tongue things. So, now I've only gave it a basic wipe down, blew out any jacks and ports for controllers or cords. There is a bit of residue from tape that was stuck on there to keep the lid shut, because this lid eject is hung and stuck after years of my siblings and I as kids getting very aggravated and slamming the lid down and shoving our finger down on the eject real hard. Let's see if it works though. Oh my God. Now bear in mind, genuinely all I did was wipe down the thing like with my shirt. And it has been in storage and in a room for ages. Let's try memory card. Alright. Hang on just a moment. Let me unplug and plug back in. Okay. So, as you can see, the GameCube controller I'm using is very old. Let's see here. We've got Resident Evil 0, a game that used to absolutely terrify me. Got Paper Mario, I think it was Thousand Year Door. Wind Waker, a game that I loved. I ought to see how far I am on it. Mystery Mayhem Scooby-Doo. We did have a Scooby-Doo game. Pac-Man. My uncle loved that, so I'm gonna try and see if it still works. Pac-Man Fever. I believe that was a party game for Pac-Man, kind of like Mario Party, but Pac-Man Party, essentially. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I genuinely loved this game. And if it still works, I'm probably going to try to do a playthrough. If I can't do it on the GameCube, I know we have a Wii that might still be able to read GameCube games. I loved how you could do the pencil-looking power shards. You could give them little fruits to increase their stamina, different pets per levels. Could give them really cool wings. I loved that game. And the idea that you could do a story mission, a campaign as either heroes or villains, and you could beat the campaign as both. Twilight Princess, I loved that game. Twilight Princess on the GameCube is actually one of the very first games that I really remember playing or beating. Now, I will say at one point I was so terrified of the enemies in the game that I had to have relatives or friends beat certain parts for me. Looking back on it now, it seems almost senseless, but I was like 8, 10 years old. Mario Party 4. It's another one of those party games that, like, you'll pop in randomly and you'll play it. And Mario Party is like Uno. There's jokes about it ending friendships. Now, Star Wars Rebel Strike and Rogue Squadron were two games that I honestly never beat. Now, I very possibly, mind you, could have just never sat down and figured out how to play it correctly. But I do remember putting in cheat codes to get different ships, or the convertible that you can get in one of the Rogue Squadron games. I'm not even joking. It is a ragtop convertible with the top taken down. So you're just flying a car through space that has cluster bombs that you can shoot. Why are you able to fly a convertible through space without any oxygen and the ragtop down? Because it's Star Wars. It's LucasArts. It's hilarious. No, I don't want to erase it. So now I can go through and set this up on the, just a second, tripod that I have. Can extend to like waist or stomach height on me, which is kind of high. And I'm going to try to edit in where I check and see if any of these, what games of these still work and what don't.